On April 30th, 2026, the Indian government published this 13-page Gazette notification. Within no time, every media outlet and social media forum exploded with confusion, chaos, and fear. I have been flooded with messages from many of you seeking clarification. Some are celebrating no more BLS, VFS, OCI in 15 days. Others are confused. The consulate website still shows the old process. And few are asking the smart question, if biometrics are new, how will they collect when everything is supposed to be online? What about people who already have physical OCI card? Will this actually work on day one? So instead of going with half information, let's understand the impact word by word. Here is the reality. This is the Gazette notification and it's the law. But the law and implementation are two different things. Important disclaimer here before we start. This notification amends Citizenship Rule 2009, not the Citizenship Act itself. I'm not covering the CAA 2019, that's a different law. This video is strictly about OCI process changes. Also, I'm not a lawyer, I'm simply an OCI card holder myself, just like many of you. I have read the Gazette notification in detail, word by word, and I'm sharing what I understand. This video is for education purpose only. Use this information to make your own informed decision. If you find this useful, make sure to share it with others. I have read the entire 13-page notification, both Hindi and English version. In this video, I'll tell you first what the law actually says with exact rule reference on screen and short codes. Second, what the notification implies but does not state, my inferences with logic. Third, what will likely happen during implementation based on how similar rollouts have worked. By the end, you will know exactly what has changed, what has not, and most importantly, how to navigate this transition without getting stuck in rumors. Let's go. Part 1, Existing Process. A 60-second refresher. After acquiring foreign citizenship, say Canada, UK, US, or anywhere, step 1, surrender India passport. Fill online application, submit physical documents to Indian Mission, Post, or agencies like BLS, VFS, and in India, go to regional passport office, you get surrender certificate. Step 2, cancel voter ID and ration card. This was introduced about 2 years back. This is mandatory to initiate step 3. Step 3, apply for OCI. Fill the application online, submit physical document to Mission, FRRO, or third-party agency like BLS, VFS. Processing time typically took 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes longer. Step 4, receive physical OCI booklet. Now, important exception, if you never held an Indian passport and apply based on parents or grandparents, you skip the surrender step and directly go to OCI. Context for minor children. A child born abroad, say Canada or US, automatically gets citizenship of that country by birth. Some parents would then apply for Indian passport for that child. The child end up holding two valid passports, Indian and Canadian, or say US. This directly violates India's prohibition on dual citizenship, which applies even to minors. Until now, there was a gap. A minor cannot formally renounce their birth citizenship until age 18. Some parents would apply for Indian passport anyway, knowingly or unknowingly. The government wants to close this gap. Keep this in mind. I'll come back to this change number 5. Part 2, the 6 key changes. Let me walk you through the notification paragraph by paragraph. I'll quote you the key legal language, give you the rule numbers, and explain in plain English. No fluff. Change 1. Electronic submission of OCI application. What the law says, Rule 29, Sub-Rule 1 has been replaced. The new version says, quoting directly, an application for registration of overseas citizen of India cardholder under Section 7A shall be made in Form 28. A 28 is written in Roman letter, you can see electronically on the designated online portal, which is ociservices.gov.in. In Rule 31, the words in duplicates are removed. In Form 28, serial number 2 is removed in Part A for Indian origin applicant and spouse-based applicant. Critical context most news reports are missing. If you are applied for OCI in the last 4 to 5 years, you already submitted your application online. This portal, ociservices.gov.in, has been operational since 2013. A revamped version was launched in May 2025, nearly a year before this notification. So, why is this government amending the rules now? Because the written rules said in duplicate, two copies, but in practice, everyone submitted only one set. The rule said one thing, the actual process did another. This amendment is not introducing online application. It is cleaning up the rule book to match what has already been happening for years. But here is what the notification does not say and where confusion starts. The words electronic submission might make you think you can do everything from couch. You cannot, at least not yet. Let me explain the real process on the ground using Canada as an example. Step 1, fill form online at ociservices.gov.in. Step 2, print the completed form. Step 3, make photocopy of uploaded document. Step 4, get a physical photograph. Step 5, visit BLS in person to submit printout, photocopies, photo and fee. Step 6, give your biometric, fingerprints and photograph at BLS during that visit. Key change, postal application by mail are no longer accepted. Why? Because biometric require you to be physically present. Do not let the word electronic submission confuse you. For now, you still need to show up in person. Change 2. e-OCI is introduced. What the law says, Rule 33, Sub Rule 1 now says, quote, every person shall be issued an Overseas Citizen of India card in physical form or an electronic Overseas Citizen of India e-OCI registration. Rule 33, Sub Rule 2 states, the issuing authority shall maintain a record as in Form 30 shown in Roman letter in electronic form. The notification also replaces Form 29, 30, 31 and 32. What this means legally. The government can now issue either physical or e-OCI card. Both are valid. Think of this like an airline boarding pass. Today, you can use paper boarding pass or a mobile boarding pass. Both works. The trend, most people use mobile. Some airlines still print at gate if you ask. The future, eventually paper may go away entirely. But the day is not today. Same with OCI, the government is building a digital infrastructure now. New applicant may start receiving e-OCI. Existing physical card holder like me will keep using their card. Then at some point, maybe when you renew your foreign passport, you may be asked to convert to e-OCI and surrender the physical card. But no one is forced to convert today. Watch for official communication at renewal time. Change 3. Biometric. New consent clause in Form 28, a new paragraph is inserted in the declaration. The applicant must provide consent for the collection and sharing of biometric data for enrollment in the fast track immigration program. What this means legally, the rule now anticipate that biometric will be captured during OCI registration. They also create a legal mechanism to reuse that data for fast track immigration program. Why this is a good news? The fast track immigration program or FTIT is already available to OCI card holder today. It operates at major Indian airports including Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad and others. It lets you skip long queues and use e-gate for faster immigration clearance. What changes with this consent clause? Previously, if you wanted this fast track program, you had to enroll separately, fill a form separately, schedule a separate biometric appointment. Now, by giving consent during OCI application, your biometric can be used for this enrollment automatically. One less visit, one less form. One more thing about the fast track program for parents. If you are applying for minor child, this is available for age 7 and above. Age under 7 are not yet enrolled. For children between 7 to 18, their registration must be linked to parent or guardian's account. If you don't know what this program is, I have a detailed video on how it makes your life easy when you land in India. Link is in the description. Here is something important. Based on applicant's report and VLS notice in Canada, in-person biometric for OCI They're already being collected before this notification was published. In fact, from 5th April 2026, a full 25 days before the Gazette, all OCI application in Canada required in-person submission with biometric. Postal application has stopped. So don't think of biometric as a distant future change. In some countries, it is already there. The rules are aligning with practices that have already started. Change 4, renunciation and cancellation of OCI. Digital first. What the law says? This declaration must be made electronically, acknowledgement issued electronically, physical card still surrendered if issued in physical form. Rule 35 is also substituted to cover cancellation for both physical card and e-OCI. Why mention e-OCI when it doesn't exist yet for most people? Because the government is making in this rule future proof. They are also introducing e-OCI now, so the cancellation rule need to be ready. For physical card, you still surrender then. For e-OCI, the government can simply cancel the digital registration, no physical card to return. What this means legally? Giving up your OCI status is now an online process backed by digital record. Change 5. Minor children. Explicit declaration against dual passport. This is important. This has nothing to do with OCI. The rule appears in the same Gazette notification that amends OCI rule. But it is actually about Indian passport for minor, not OCI. Why is this here? Because the government amended this entire citizenship rule 2009 in one notification. Passport rule and OCI rule together. Here's what the government is fixing. A child born in Canada or US, I'm just giving an example, automatically gets country's citizenship by birth. Some parent would then apply for Indian passport for their child. The child ends up holding two valid passport, Indian and foreign. This directly violates India's prohibition on dual citizenship, which applies even to minor. Until now, there was a gap. A minor cannot formally renounce their birth citizenship until age 18. Some parents would apply for the Indian passport anyway, knowingly or unknowingly. So the government added a declaration to the Indian passport application form for minor. When you apply for an Indian passport for child, you must now explicitly sign that the child will not hold any other country passport while holding an Indian passport. Again, this is about passport, not OCI. Your OCI application is completely unaffected by this change. Dual citizenship was never permitted, but the government does not want to leave any room for interpretation. You can check out some of the news article why this has happened. This declaration closes that gap. Parents who sign falsely faces consequence. The government is making sure everyone understand this from the start. Change 6. Revision and review rights. New hierarchy. What the law say? Rule 42. If your citizenship application is rejected, revision goes to authority one rank higher. If your OCI application is rejected or cancelled, revision goes to an authority specified by the central government. New rule 42A. Review under section 15A is handled by central government directly. What this means for you? If your OCI is rejected or cancelled, you have formal appeal pathway. Read your rejection letter carefully to know which authorities to approach. Schedule 4, minor cleanup. What the law says, Schedule 4 has some asterisk symbol removed from the column 2 again, serial number 8, 10 and 11 and a note removed at the end. What this means? This is purely a table cleanup, no practical impact on the applicant. I mention it only for completeness. Part 3, what has not changed? Before we move on, here is what has not changed. 1. OCI is still not citizenship. It remains a registration status under Citizenship Act. The Citizenship Act itself has not been amended. 2. India still does not allow dual citizenship at any age. This rule just makes the prohibition more explicit for minor. 3. Sections 7A, 7C and 7D of Citizenship Act are untouched. Only the rule and forms changed. 4. Existing physical OCI card remains valid. No automatic conversion to e-OCI. 5. You still must surrender your India passport after acquiring foreign citizenship before applying for OCI. Part 4. Self-attestation and processing delay. One more thing, the notification does not address self-attestation of uploaded document. Until your consulate issues a specific guidance, follow the old practice, self-attest what you would have submitted physically. On processing time, do not expect instant faster processing. The 6 to 8 weeks timeline may continue or even extend temporarily during the transition. Watch your local mission. Some will be ready quickly, others might take time to catch up. Part 5, existing OCI holder. This is a very common question. What the law says, nothing requires existing physical OCI card holder to convert. Your card remains valid. Your inference when you renew after a new passport, for example, the renewal will likely follow the new digital route. You may be issued e-OCI at that time. What about the fast track immigration program? This is already available to the OCI card holder. If you want to enroll, you will need to provide biometrics separately since your physical card has no biometric attached. You can do this at FRRO or at major airport. My recommendation, do nothing right now. Keep using your physical card. Watch for official communication at renewal time. Part 6, practical steps. 7 action. Here is what I suggest you to actually do. Step 1, new applicant, go directly to the website ociservices.gov.in. Step 2, biometrics, be prepared to visit an authorized center. Your consulate website will mention when and where. Step 3, parents of minor, read the declaration carefully. The declaration is for Indian passport application, not OCI. But signing a false declaration has consequences. Ignorance of law is not a defense. Always be on the right side of the law. Step 4, the fast track immigration program already exists and is operational at major Indian airport. If you are a new OCI applicant, give consent during the application. If you are an existing card holder, watch for separate enrollment instruction. I have linked official FTI information in the description which you can check. Step 5, within India, if you are dealing with FIRO, you can call them directly, ask if they are following the new rules yet. Step 6, everyone, do not assume uniformity. One consulate may be ready, another may lag. Check your local mission. Step 7, information, bookmark the official gazette. I'll leave the link in the description. And here is the bottom line on biometric. For new applicant, in-person visit to BLS or equivalent is mandatory. Biometric will be collected, no postal application accepted. For existing card holder, nothing changes today. In future, possibly during the passport renewal, you may be asked to provide biometric and convert to e-OCI. But wait for official instruction. Do not let the word fully online confuse you. For now, you still need to show up in person. Part 7, conclusion and final disclaimer. Let me leave you with the 3 truth. Truth number 1. The 2026 rule are a genuine step forward for digitalization, but the Gazette does not say every step is fully digital overnight. The application is online, biometric and document submission will remain in person for now, and truth 2, biometric are coming based on applicant report from countries like Canada. They are already being collected in some places. Expect some initial delays as system ramp up. And truth 3, the dual passport rule for minor are now explicit. The government does not want to leave any room for interpretation. This declaration closes the gap. But remember, this is about Indian passport application for minors. It has nothing to do with OCI. And final disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. This video is based on my reading of Gazette notification. You can find the link in the description. And also remember, this notification amends the Citizenship Rule 2009, not the Citizenship Act. The CAA 2019 is a different law entirely and is not covered here. If you found this breakdown helpful, because I actually read the Gazette and told you what it says versus what it implies, hit a like and subscribe and comment with your country. Take care, stay informed. See you in the next video.